You can lose money and earn it back. You can fail and try again. But once you lose your health, no amount of success can bring it back easily. Every dream, every goal, every ounce of ambition depends on one thing: your body's strength and your mind's energy. You can't pour from an empty cup. And yet, most people take care of their cars better than their bodies. They'll change the oil on time, but skip sleep for weeks. They'll refuel machines, but forget to nourish themselves. Health is not just the absence of disease. It's the presence of energy. It's waking up with clarity, moving with strength, thinking with focus, and living with gratitude. If you can walk, be thankful. If you can breathe deeply, smile. If your heart still beats strong, don't waste it living carelessly. Because your body is your first home, and your habits are the architects building or breaking it. Start small. Drink more water. Move your body. Sleep with discipline. Eat like you love yourself, not like you're punishing yourself. The truth is, you don't need to be extreme, you just need to be consistent. Your health is not a cost, it's an investment. And every step, every breath, every drop of sweat you put in today pays off tomorrow in the currency of life itself. So treat your body like it's sacred, because it is. Your health is your greatest wealth. Yet in a world where we chase achievements, accumulate possessions, and compete endlessly for recognition, this simple truth often gets buried under the noise of ambition. We work tirelessly to earn more, to climb higher, to be seen, and to be validated. But in that pursuit, we sometimes forget that none of it truly matters if we lose the very foundation that allows us to experience it all, our health. What use is success if the body is tired, the mind is restless, and the heart is heavy? Health is not merely the absence of disease, it is the presence of harmony. It's when the body, mind, and soul function in alignment, each supporting the other like the strings of a well-tuned instrument. But modern life has made this harmony rare. We have built cities that never sleep, jobs that never end, and lifestyles that never pause. We eat fast, we live fast, and we burn out even faster. We measure progress in possessions, not peace, in earnings, not energy, in deadlines met, not moments lived. Think about how our ancestors lived, not with the luxuries we have today, but with a rhythm that respected nature and the body's needs. They rose with the sun, worked with their hands, ate what the earth provided, and rested when it was time. They had fewer comforts, yet far fewer complaints. They valued simplicity over speed, balance over excess. Somewhere along the way, as technology advanced and comforts multiplied, we traded that natural wisdom for convenience. We became busier but not necessarily better. We became connected to the world but disconnected from ourselves. Today, the greatest crisis we face is not only environmental or political. It's personal. It's the silent epidemic of stress, anxiety, and exhaustion. We live in a generation that knows everything about the world but little about inner peace. We scroll endlessly, compare constantly, and rarely pause to breathe deeply. We are surrounded by information but starving for stillness. And ironically, we spend our health earning money only to spend that money later trying to recover our health. True wealth is waking up in the morning with energy, joy, and clarity. It's being able to walk, to laugh, to think, to love, without the burden of pain or fatigue. No material success can replace the feeling of a calm mind and a healthy body. Yet many people ignore the small whispers of their body until those whispers turn into screams. A little back pain becomes a chronic condition. A few sleepless nights become insomnia. Occasional anxiety becomes depression. The signs were always there, but we were too busy to listen. In my travels and conversations, I've met people from every walk of life. CEOs, students, monks, and laborers. And I've realized something profound. Health is the one thing that unites us all, no matter how rich or poor, educated or uneducated. every human being depends on their physical and mental well-being to experience life fully. A king without health is poorer than a beggar with vitality. And yet, we keep treating our bodies like machines that can be pushed without maintenance, forgetting that even the finest machines break down when neglected. It is time we rethink success. Success is not having everything. It is being able to enjoy everything you have. What joy is there in a beautiful home if you're too tired to live in it? What satisfaction is there in wealth if you're too weak to use it? What meaning is there in achievement if your mind is constantly restless? The quality of your life is not measured by your possessions but by your presence. And health gives you the ability to be present, to feel alive, to experience every moment deeply. The secret of a healthy life lies in balance, in what we eat, how we think, how we move, and how we rest. Food is not just fuel, it's medicine. But most of us eat to fill our emotions, not our bodies. We eat when we're stressed, lonely, or bored, not when we're truly hungry. We have forgotten the art of mindful eating, the gratitude that comes with every meal, the connection between food and mood. What we consume, not just through our mouths but through our minds, shapes our health. Negative thoughts, toxic relationships, and digital overload can poison us just as much as junk food. Our mind, too, needs nourishment. Meditation and gratitude, kindness, and reflection are not luxuries, they are necessities for mental health. Just as we train our bodies to stay fit, we must train our minds to stay calm. The world will never slow down, but we can learn to move through it mindfully. We can choose to take small pauses throughout the day, to breathe, to reflect, to appreciate. These moments of stillness are like drops of peace that fill the cup of our inner strength. And then there's rest, the most underrated aspect of health. We celebrate business as a badge of honor. We think rest is laziness, but in truth, rest is wisdom. Just as a field must lie fallow to grow fertile again, our minds and bodies need rest to renew themselves. When we sleep, we heal. When we pause, we recharge. Productivity without rest leads to collapse, not success. We must also remember that health is not individual. It's collective. The health of one affects the health of all. Our environment, our communities, our relationships all play a role. When we pollute the earth, we pollute our lungs. When we allow hatred or division to grow, we poison our collective soul. Health is a shared responsibility, one that requires compassion, cooperation, and care beyond ourselves. There's also a spiritual dimension to health. A healthy life is one in which your actions, thoughts, and intentions are aligned with your values. When you live with integrity, when your heart is at peace, your body responds positively. Stress often arises from living in contradiction, saying one thing, doing another, chasing what doesn't fulfill you. True health, therefore, begins with honesty, being true to yourself and living a life that reflects the truth. The future of humanity depends not only on innovation and technology, but also on the health and consciousness of its people. A society that prioritizes profits over well-being is like a tree that cuts its own roots. We need leaders, teachers, parents, and individuals who understand that health is not a privilege. It's a duty. It's the foundation upon which every dream, every goal, every contribution to the world is built. We often look at history and admire those who achieved greatness. Philosophers, inventors, warriors, and reformers. But what sustained them through their challenges was not just intelligence or courage. It was vitality. Great deeds are born from great energy, and energy is born from balance. Gandhi could walk miles every day because he lived simply. Ancient sages could meditate for hours because they mastered discipline. Their health was not accidental, it was intentional. Today, we have more access to healthcare, knowledge, and nutrition than any generation before us. Yet we are more unwell than ever. The problem is not lack of information, but lack of application. We know what to do, but we don't do it. We know exercise matters, yet we skip it. We know stress kills, yet we invite it. We know gratitude heals, yet we focus on what's missing. The wisdom of health is not new. It's just forgotten. To rediscover it, we must return to the basics: eat real food, move daily, rest deeply, think kindly, and live consciously. Health is not a destination but a journey, one that requires daily awareness. Every choice you make, what you eat, what you think, what you say, either nourishes or depletes you. The power lies in your hands, in your plate, in your mind, and in your heart. We must also teach the younger generation the value of health early, not after it's lost. In a world where digital distractions dominate, where comparison breeds insecurity, and where pressure leads to burnout, it's crucial that we help them understand that peace of mind and physical strength are the true superpowers of life. A healthy body holds a healthy mind, and a healthy mind builds a healthy world. So when you think of wealth, don't just think of your bank account. Think of your heartbeat. Think of your breath. Think of your peace. These are the treasures that no market can buy, no thief can steal, and no crisis can destroy. Health gives meaning to everything else. Your relationships, your purpose, your joy. Without it, even the greatest success becomes empty. When we begin to honor our health, not out of fear, but out of gratitude, something shifts within us. We start to eat mindfully, move joyfully, rest peacefully, and live purposefully. We stop chasing and start cherishing. Because at the end of it all, when everything else fades, titles, possessions, applause, the only thing that remains is how deeply we lived and how well we took care of the life we were given. Your health is your greatest wealth, and the time to protect it is not someday, but today. Because every single day is a chance to begin again. Health is not something that transforms overnight. It's something that strengthens through small, consistent acts of love toward yourself. You don't need to run a marathon tomorrow or give up everything you enjoy. You just need to start. One mindful breath, one nutritious meal, one walk under the morning sun, one moment of gratitude for the body that carries you. Every small choice builds the foundation of a stronger, calmer, more resilient you. When you begin to live with awareness, you start to see how deeply interconnected every part of your life truly is. The food you eat affects your energy affects your thoughts affect your emotions, and your emotions affect the way you treat others. In that sense, taking care of your health is not a selfish act. It's a form of service. When you are healthy, you are patient. When you are calm, you are kind. When you are balanced, you create balance around you. A peaceful mind brings peace into homes, workplaces, and communities. Think about the people who depend on you. Your family, your friends, your colleagues. They don't just need your presence, they need your well-being. They need you healthy, joyful, and strong. Often people neglect their health thinking they are being selfless, working longer hours, skipping meals, sacrificing sleep to provide for their loved ones. But what they don't realize is that burnout helps no one. You cannot pour from an empty cup. True care for others begins with caring for yourself. When you nurture your body and mind, you give others the best version of you, not what's left of you. In moments of illness, people often discover a deep truth: that all their plans, their deadlines, and their possessions lose meaning when health is gone. Suddenly, the simplest things become the most precious: breathing freely, walking without pain, sleeping peacefully. These moments remind us that health was never a luxury. It was the real priority all along. The body we live in is not just a vessel, it's our home. And just as we would never neglect our house to the point of collapse, we must not neglect our health until it's too late. The time to take responsibility is now. The modern world offers endless distractions and excuses. But wisdom begins when we choose awareness over avoidance. When you decide to take that evening walk instead of scrolling your phone, when you choose fresh food over processed comfort, when you choose sleep over late night stress, you are rewriting your story. These choices may seem small, but they ripple into every corner of your life. You begin to think more clearly, feel more energetic, and respond to life with patience instead of panic. Health is not about perfection, it's about direction. Every step toward balance counts. There will be days when you fall off track, when motivation fades, when stress tempts you to return to old habits. And that's okay. The goal is not to never fall, but to never stop returning. Real strength lies in consistency, not intensity. Just as a drop of water can carve stone over time, small acts of self-care, repeated daily, can transform your body and mind in ways you can't imagine. If we look at the world today, we see that our collective health reflects our collective priorities. Fast food chains grow faster than fruit trees. Stress levels rise as connection declines. Our medical systems treat disease, but rarely teach prevention. The change must begin within each of us. When one person chooses wellness, that choice influences others. A father inspires his children. A teacher influences students. A leader inspires communities. Health has a ripple effect that travels farther than we think. It's also important to remember that health is not the same for everyone. Each person's journey is unique, and that's what makes it beautiful. For some, it means regaining physical strength after illness. For others, it means finding peace in the mind after years of anxiety. For some, it means learning to forgive and let go of emotional pain. Health is holistic. It's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. When one part heals, the others follow. And healing often begins with forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for the neglect, for the bad habits, for the missed chances. Guilt does not heal, compassion does. Begin again with gentleness. The body listens not just to what you feed it, but also to how you speak to it. Treat it as a friend, not an enemy. When you see your body as sacred, you naturally make choices that honor it. You begin to move not just to look fit, but to feel alive. You begin to eat not to fill emptiness, but to nourish joy. You begin to rest not out of laziness, but out of respect for the miracle of life that sustains you. The world we live in is changing rapidly. Climate, economy, technology. But one truth remains constant: a healthy, conscious human being will always be the foundation of a thriving world. If we want to build a future of peace, progress, and happiness, it begins with individuals who are physically strong, mentally stable, and spiritually centered. Health is the bridge between what we dream of and what we can achieve. It gives us the energy to serve, the patience to listen, and the courage to act with compassion. The wise have always known that health and spirituality walk hand in hand. When your body is pure, your thoughts become clear. When your thoughts are clear, your heart opens. And when your heart opens, you begin to see the divine in everything around you. That's why every great tradition emphasizes moderation, gratitude, and mindfulness, not as restrictions, but as pathways to freedom. Freedom from addiction, from overthinking, from the endless race of more. When you live in tune with your health, you begin to experience life more deeply. The colors look brighter, food tastes better, conversations feel more meaningful, and sleep feels more peaceful. That's not coincidence, that's clarity. You are no longer surviving, you are living. You start to understand that the ultimate luxury is not in owning more, but in feeling more. In feeling light, strong, and alive every single day. So ask yourself, what are you doing today that your future self will thank you for? Will you choose habits that strengthen you or weaken you? Will you fill your life with stress or serenity? Every meal, every thought, every breath is a vote for your future. You are shaping not just how long you live, but how well you live. And remember, No matter where you are starting from, change is always possible. The body is incredibly forgiving. It wants to heal. It wants to return to balance. All it needs is your cooperation. When you align your choices with self-respect, your body responds with strength, your mind responds with clarity, and your life responds with peace. So, begin today. Begin with awareness. Begin with gratitude for the body that has carried you through every joy and every struggle. Begin with the understanding that you are not separate from nature. You are a part of it. And just as the earth flourishes when nurtured, your health too will bloom when cared for with love and discipline. Because in the end, your health is not just your wealth. It is your responsibility, your legacy, and your greatest act of gratitude to life itself.